It's me again, Professor Charming, and I am going to be bringing you my sixth episode. This episode is actually very important to me because not only does it have to deal with my profession, but it also is something that I've been studying since I was very young because I couldn't understand when I was young how something can just come into a person's body and take it over. And while that applies to a lot of things that can happen to a human body, in this particular episode, I will be talking to you about the safety of sex.
I can't trust you, I got enemies. They just want to put an enemy. I don't feed into the energy. I've been cooking up the recipe. I got a thing for exotic. She claims she exotic. I know she a thotty. Oh man, I wish I was lying.
So, growing up as a young girl, I've always been interested in the topic of HIV and STDs because of the wrap it up era.
Hey, you want to know how to protect something? You wrap it up. You want to protect it? You wrap it up. So, you want to protect it? Wrap it up.
That's when Trojans and condoms and things like that were being heavily advertised. For me and my young little self, I ran to the internet. At that time, it was AOL. Waited for that dial-up to connect, and then I looked up STDs. I will look up HIV. I will look up all of those things because I needed to know what the hell was out there that they felt the need to broadcast just in your face Trojan, 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 Trojan. That is where my interest in HIV began. So, the importance of knowing about your health is you want to be able to catch things very early. When you catch things early, then it makes it easier to treat and you can actually help yourself live a long, healthy life if you continue to pay attention to your health. Now, this brings me to expect the test. Expect the test. You know, you go into your doctor's office, you get your regular physical, you get your glucose, you get your vitamin levels checked, you get like, oh, let's see if you are anemic, things like that. You know, when I say expect the test, I'm not talking about those tests. You can opt out, but know that you may be tested for HIV whether you consent to it or not. Ugh, my hair is so tight. Anyone the age of 13 or older can get tested for HIV without their parents' consent. Yes, 13 years old, no parent. Just walk in, ask for an HIV test, and you will be given an HIV test. Human immunodeficiency virus. HIV. HIV does not have a certain race, certain gender, and age it affects. It does not discriminate. HIV can affect anyone. A lot of people are still confused on how HIV is spread. HIV is transmitted blood through vaginal secretions from a man's penis, needles, if a person uses drugs, or sometimes there are situations where a person has an open cut and blood gets into it, dental work, open cuts. You just have to be very careful when it comes to being around blood of other individuals because you never know what can be in another person's blood. Because HIV does not have a face. Some people don't even know they have it because it does not have a look.
A win is a win. A win is a win. I don't care.
It does not have a profession. Anybody could get it. A doctor can get it. It does not discriminate, like I said. Blood transfusions, I don't want to say that doesn't happen anymore, but they try to check the blood when they do transfusions now. little boy named Ryan White actually had to have a blood transfusion, and that's how he acquired HIV. They fought for him to get into the school because back then HIV was taboo. And when he finally did get back into school, he did end up passing away. Because of him, there are many programs where people who have HIV can get a lot of services, free services. It kind of irritates me when I hear people saying this person has AIDS or that person has AIDS. It's a little irritating because a person does not get infected with AIDS. AIDS is when your immune system, how I would read it is your CD4. AIDS is when your T cells drop below 200. I like to tell people who are infected with HIV, make sure you take your medication, because once you get the diagnosis of having AIDS, you have it for life. AIDS is a lifelong diagnosis. Even if your T cells go above 200, your T cells could be 1,000, and a person is still AIDS defined. HIV is not the only thing that you can catch. Unfortunately, statistics say 1 in 4 people have an STD. I know that sounds so shocking, but that's exactly why I'm making this video. Chlamydia, gonorrhea, warts, herpes, very common one, chlamydia. That one is passed around quite often. And that one, you can take a pill and get rid of it. However, let me make this extremely clear. There are some STDs that can lead to incurable situations. The syphilis is an incurable STD. To treat their syphilis, it's a shot. Usually it's like this big needle that goes into your butt muscle. It lies dormant in your body. Depending on if a person gets exposed to it or not, their titers will go up. Your body is not made to handle STDs. That's why it can't fight it on its own. That's why you need some type of outside source to cure it. Just because you take a pill for it does not mean that you should go back and say, "Oh well, I'm going to take a pill again. I'm going to take a pill again. No, that's not how it works. Getting infected with multiple STDs can lead to a lot of issues in your whole body, a lot of damage that can be done to your reproductive system or your body as a whole. And we know it's out there. So I'm just urging everyone, and hopefully they take my advice, my stupid advice, like my aunt would say, and get tested. Not only for others, but it's also for you. If a person wants to have sex with you, why shouldn't you be able to know about what's going on in their body? If they become defensive, then, then maybe that's a sign. But why shouldn't you feel comfortable asking a person who's asking you for something for something? Do not let someone dictate your future. At the end of the day, when you walk out of that room, that car, that house, that hotel, that wherever you decide to do something, whatever you got in that room, you're leaving with it. If you don't see that person tomorrow, you're leaving with it. Whatever you get from that sexual interaction, you are leaving with it.
A girl has an STD, right? You've been wanting to smash her for 2 years. She finally giving it up, but you found out she has an STD. You still gonna smash?
Told you, I'm Big Dirty Dog. Listen, hold on. Listen. I with chlamydia, right? She burnt me. Yo, listen, she burnt me. I went to the doctor. No, I didn't even go to the doctor at that time. I told her, listen, you burnt me. Oh, good. I didn't go to the doctor. I told you. I went right back in there.
Delaware.
Caught it again.
You do not want to be leaving with something that you didn't go into that relationship, situationship, friendship with. But please just know the importance of your status. Get tested. Well, if you don't know your status, then get tested. Urge and encourage your partner to get tested as well. And if you are positive, then you equals you. Stay on top of your medication. This technology has blessed us with medication. It was not like this back in the day. They were dying from opportunistic infections, not from HIV. Opportunistic infections are infections or illnesses that get into your body when it sees an opportunity. We get exposed to things every day. Look, we lived through COVID. Unfortunately, some people didn't make it. If a person is diagnosed with HIV, they have a few options when it comes to medication. A lot of people see the commercials for the Biktarvy. The Biktarvy is a one-a-day pill. It can be used during pregnancy. It helps people become undetectable. And when you are undetectable, you cannot transmit it. That's very important. That's the U equal U that I was talking about earlier today. With all the resources that the world has, these medications can be given to you for free. All you have to do is find your local health center. And once you find that, then you are going to tell them that you are positive. They're going to run their tests, confirm it, and then they will send you home with a sample of a medication just in case you don't have it. Oh, drug regimens. Oh, I love this. So, the reason I even brought out this book after speaking about HIV and the different drug regimens, because this book tells you the breakdown of how these medications work in combination with each other in order to manage a person who does have HIV. For instance, Biktarvy, 3 medications. Let's break it down now. Tenofovir is found in other medications, such as Atripla, which is a very old school medication, linked to nightmares. Tenofovir is in Atripla, Biktarvy, Delstrigo, Odefsey, another old school one, Genvoya. I'm getting hungry. No. Blocks the enzyme needed to make copies. Biktarvy. There are 2 drugs that blocks the enzyme needed to make copies. When you take a Biktarvy pill, the HIV virus goes into your body, it goes into your enzymes, your DNA, and it's just traveling. It just takes over your nucleus of your cell. It takes over everything. When you take Biktarvy, it blocks the enzyme needed to make copies. Your viral load would stay low because copies are not being made while taking Biktarvy. I feel like that's a simple breakdown of it. Or look at this. Examples of drugs that help stop HIV virus from being assembled correctly. How do you make a drug to prevent something from being assembled correctly? Masterminds. Amazing. Absolutely astonishing. And action. This is it. Hello, everyone. I'm back and I'm better than ever. And yes, I have my guest star here. He won't be partaking, but he's here because he's always with me because he loves me. Now, you may have been exposed to HIV. What should you do? Let's say, for instance, you do get yourself in a situation in which you believe you may have been exposed to HIV. You have options. And one of the options that I would suggest is you begin a drug regimen called PEP. You can get by calling this number, or you can get it by heading to your local hospital. You have 72 hours after your possible exposure, and then once you begin this drug regimen, you have to take it for a whole month. As directed after that month, then hopefully your status will stay negative. Now, for instance, if you decide not to go the drug route, you do feel like you are experiencing symptoms of some sort, you're wondering, could it be early HIV? Then I would say your best bet is to head to your local healthcare facility and get tested. Acute HIV stage, and in this stage, you will experience flu-like symptoms accompanied with sore throat, mouth sores, rashes, painful joints, swollen lymph nodes. Those are some signs that you are in the acute stage of HIV. Getting tested is the best and only way to prove if you are HIV positive or negative, or positive or negative for any other STDs or STIs. I don't care if you ran down to the doctor's office last month, do it again. Make sure that you know your status, because that is the only way that you can help protect yourself and others, and continue to protect yourself and others. All right, now I'm going to get into condoms. Not a lot of people know about the female condom. These are very old school, and I'm not going to say old school like it's a bad thing. Let me show you how it looks. All right, it's huge. Baby, you going to take a gander, or you going to just wait till I release the episode? Look. It's huge, right? It's kind of messy too. I should have done this last. So what you're going to do in order to put this female condom inside of your vagina, because that's where it goes, you are going to squeeze it, so put it in like this, leave the larger part hanging out, push it in, and it is going to get into place. And that's how it should look. Open it. This part will be outside of your vagina right here. So just in place like that. Just to remove it, you just pull it out by the larger ring, which is the one at the top. You see, the larger ring is the one that sticks out. The non-lubricated one is for people who do have sensitivity to the lubrication that usually accompanies condoms. It's dry. It's literally non-lubricated. I'm kind of going to use this to dry off my hands from the female one. Literally non-lubricated. I feel like I never really put my hand in a condom before, but stretchy as ever. You know, people be saying that they're ripping stuff. Why, this is pretty stretchy to me. I'm hoping that you know how to put on a condom by now if you're watching this. So, and I don't have any test things to put it on, so let's just leave it that way. Mr. Big Willie, if you really want to know. So in order to put a condom on, you just grab it by the tip. Once you open it, grab it by the tip, roll it down. It does feel a little stronger. Look at that. It's getting caught in my ring and it still didn't pop. Okay. The material is a little stronger, but I wouldn't say it's thicker. It just got caught in my rings. Hold on, let me show y'all something. All right, so what I want to do is a test to see if I can feel the temperature through the condom. And some may be like, why would you want to feel the temperature through a condom? It's to see if I can actually feel the presence of a woman, because the way some men be making it seem is like you can't feel nothing through a condom. All right, we going first test it out with some ice cubes. Oh, I can't hold nothing with a condom, I'll tell you that. God, golly. Well, there's that. That gets slippery as hell. Shit. All right. I feel the coldness instantly. Instantly. Look, it's like it's melting it even quicker. Look at it melting. That's wild. That's wild. It was really melting it very quick. Now, I'm not going to dip my hand in some hot water. I'm just going to feel the outside of the cup. And immediately, warm. So don't let these men tell you Oh, I don't feel nothing through no condom. You could feel the cold, you could feel the hot, you could feel everything. And look at this. I have nails and it still didn't break. My nails are literally forming to the condom and it still did not break. Condoms do not break that easily. You're doing something wrong. Now, I do want to touch on another type of condom, and I know you're going to be like, why would I need these? I know a lot of people don't think they should even be using these, but these are called finger condoms. Now, if you want to put your fingers in places where you could potentially be in direct contact with bodily fluids, you could put it all the way to the base of your fingers. It doesn't matter as much. I don't really see many people using or asking for these because a lot of people don't really know about them, but they do exist. And if you do feel nervous about putting your hands places where you come into direct contact with bodily fluids, then ask for some finger condoms. Your local health provider should have them available. Last but certainly not least, boom, dental dams. Dental dams are for oral. And with dental dams, it comes with instructions, but like I said, a lot of these things are self-explanatory. You take it out, you lay it across the area, you lay it across the area you would like to perform oral sex on, and you just go to town. Just licky, licky, licky. You could put it on a woman's vagina, you could put it on a woman's anus, wherever you prefer. This is supposed to be a barrier between you and their bodily fluids. Being diagnosed with STD and or HIV is not the end of your life. There are plenty of programs to cover drugs or medications or anything that you need to help you live a long, healthy life. Your life is in your hands. There's no one around you that can help you with this decision that you have to make about yourself. You need to make sure you take care of yourself. You take your medications as told, and you are staying up to date with your doctor's appointments and staying up to date with everything. You can have negative partners, you can have babies. Partner can choose to be on PrEP.
Taken every day, PrEP can provide a high level of protection against HIV and is even more effective when it is combined with condoms and other prevention tools. People who use PrEP should take the medicine every day and return to their healthcare provider every 3 months for follow-up and prescription refill.
So please, if a person is diagnosed with HIV, do not treat it like a death sentence. You are able to live a long, healthy life. I don't know what else I can say. I didn't even put my glass. I forgot to put my glasses on this whole time. It's okay. I didn't even have my glasses on this whole time. Whatever. Be safe. So, this is me, Professor Charming, coming to you live and direct from my humble abode. Hopefully, this message can get out to all the young adults, elderly, and people will take care of themselves, stay healthy, and be safe.